y'all.
It's your boy, D. Drum Pryor.
And it's your beautiful girl, Brianna.
And you're kicking it with K and B.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you again for tuning into our channel today. We have another very special guest, which is Jeffery Johnson. Jeffery Johnson has been a very important friend of mine for years. We've gone back from being in the same neighborhood and staying in the same neighborhood as each other. So we went to high school together, I think middle school, elementary. We go way back, and he's played a really big role in my life as well as the youth. He helps youth as far as building their mental state, their spiritual state, as well as their whole physical state. And he's here on just bringing up the topic of depression. And so, Jeffrey, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool. My name is Jeffery Darnell Johnson Jr. I'm a spoken word artist and a trainer primarily. And I've just spent the last 10 years of my career trying to help kids learn how to deal with their emotions, whether it's through poetry or build their confidence through sports and physical training, and just trying to help kids, man. I became the person that I needed growing up, and that really motivated me to just push for the next generation. So everything I do is all about building up the next generation of people, and I speak to that. I speak from experience, not from theory, and I just think that's a good teacher, you know?
Yep. Definitely, sure. Most definitely. And it's amazing because we're close friends, and you would never think that he goes through something or you actually went through something because we're all human. And it's hard because I may feel like he's this strong black man and he can go through anything, but when you actually dig deep into somebody else's lives, you kind of understand what to actually go through.
Right. So that was a struggle for me. In March of 2020, I think March 21st, I was preparing to play professional basketball in Spain. And 10 weeks before I was supposed to fly out there, and the night I was supposed to book my ticket, I tore my patella tendon in my right knee, which out of all the muscles and tendons and ligaments in the knee, the patella is the last one you should tear. And it takes the longest to heal. It's the strongest muscle, but you can't walk if there's a tear in it. Like other things you can kind of get by, but this one, it takes away your mobility. So for the last 7 months, I had to reteach myself how to walk, how to jog,
That's
how
scary.
to stand, how to put on shoes, how to take a bath, how to lay in the bed. Everything had to start completely over, and it sent me into this dark place that robbed me of an experience. And I guess we'll dive more into that today on how that made me feel.
Right. So we're going to go through a couple questions. One question: how did you overcome depression?
So, like I said, playing professional basketball was the biggest dream for me, right? It was everything I've built since I met Bree in 2003, something like that. Everything since 2003 has been building to this moment. And when you get disappointed like that, you experience the biggest tragedy or trauma. Our community, men, we don't know how to process and deal with that kind of stuff. We defer to anger, and we defer to withdrawing within ourselves, and those things are unhealthy.
For sure.
And I've been there, man. It's real talk. I saw myself isolating myself from people, being snappy towards my wife, not doing the things I usually do. I wasn't myself, basically. And it was very subtle. It's I'm a high energy person, but I just want to sit in the dark. Or I just want to sit with no music on, no TV on. I just want to stare at the wall. It's little things that you start noticing about your character. It's something's going on, and you got to dig deeper to figure out what that thing is. And I remember the shift. I remember the exact moment where everything changed. I was reading this article, and the article talked about this guy who was rushing to work, and he had no time for his family, no time for his kids. He was I'm trying to get to this meeting. And he ended up falling down the stairs and breaking his ankle. And he had no choice but to spend all the time he had with them. And he was depressed about it. He was upset. And the moment that helped him was he made the shift from, God, why is this happening to me? To what has this injury made possible? And the moment I said that, the moment I started looking into what has been made possible from this injury, everything changed. I spent more time with my wife. I checked on my family and friends. I spent more time in God's Word. I enjoyed nature more. I slowed down and paid more attention to my surroundings. All the stuff that I needed while I was healthy, having this trauma happen to me made me like dive headfirst into it. And that pulled me out of it because I was like, okay, stop being selfish. Like, I know it happened to you, but what's coming through you is for everybody else. Right. And that was so powerful to me. I stopped being angry. I stopped being snappy towards people, and I started like reconnecting. I heard somebody say, if you don't make time for friends, you won't have any. And I was like,
that's definitely true.
Right. You have to make time.
It'll be very lonely.
If you don't make time.
You have to make time.
It's real.
For other things and friends.
It's real talk. And depression is the exact opposite of that. Depression makes you want to reserve, isolate.
Oh, for sure.
There's a difference between solitude and isolation, and I was trying to be isolated from people, like on the island. And that made everything worse. So yeah, it was a battle.
It's scary when it gets to that point where you feel like you have to isolate yourself, because now it's like, I don't know. I know for me, when I was depressed in my younger years, I basically isolated myself, but nobody really knew when I came around them. I would always put on this face and pretend to be happy, but when I go back home, isolated, I'm either crying in my bed like for days, just being so depressed and trying to figure out why God, why is this happening to me? Why am I depressed? When, like you said, what is the reason for me to be depressed, and what outcome can I get from being depressed? What person can I be made from being depressed? What can I learn more about myself from being depressed?
That's good.
So it was definitely the scariest part of my life, but now I definitely knew what the person I'm supposed to be today.
Yeah, I definitely can agree. I definitely have went through depression as well, because I feel like it's just not talked about in our community. I feel like we just go through it, and it's just like, you know, like when you tell someone, they like, "Well, give it to God." You know, it is.
You'll get over it.
Yeah, you'll get over it.
God has a plan.
God has a plan. It's just like it's a phase or something.
Don't tell me that.
Like, and it's so crazy because like growing up, that's what I heard, and I feel like therapy was like uncalled for. Like what everybody says, therapy, they thought therapy was just for white people.
Right.
So there's not to relate it back to that. It wasn't for black people. So like moving forward, like I feel like I had to like face all my problems on my own, self-heal, self-therapy, self-talk to myself, which I don't have all the answers to what I'm going through. How can I help myself and I'm already going through it? You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize that. So it's just like, I definitely feel where you're coming from, like being isolated, because I've been there. I have been there, but I've probably been depressed like at least like 5 times over my life. So it's just like, you've always be isolated, then you become snappy, then you become like, you lose some of your friends.
Nervous like this.
Your nerve is like this.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like, I think like getting out of that.
Yeah,
so I feel like getting out of that is just like a real big accomplishment, because I've known a lot of people who've been depressed literally like are not here no more. You know what I'm saying? Depression can like take you there.
Right.
So yeah, for getting out of that, I definitely commend you on like getting out of that.
And that goes to that next question, but mainly for you all. Why is it that in the black community that it's not talked about with men? Why don't men express their feelings when they are depressed? Or why don't men actually be open enough to be like, hey, I'm feeling down, I need help with this?
You want to start?
Yeah, I swing at it. Like, just from personal experience, even I've grown up in our neighborhood, man, there were older dudes that came into our neighborhood and kind of try to teach us how to be men, right? Dudes that didn't even live in these houses, grabbing, oh man, it was bad. Like grabbing the young cats, like, this is how you're supposed to live. And for me, it was like, you gotta sleep with a lot of girls, bro. Like that's how you become a man. But it never was like, bro, if you struggling, if you hurt, if you sad, like that's okay. It was always, hey, bro, like why you either you gay or you a sissy or you a punk. Like they call you all kind of names. They make you feel isolated from having emotions. Like no, that's not it.
Right.
I'm hurting. Like, how can I like be a man if I can't express my emotions? And in our community, like it's taught, you don't cry, you don't show emotion, you don't vent.
You better toughen up.
You better toughen up. Like you like keep that stuff to yourself. Don't share that. And then when we grow up and we have wives and kids, we dump that stuff on them and recycle that same generational curse.
Yeah,
man. It's crazy.
See, I definitely agree, but I'm always gonna go very deeper and deeper. It all comes from slavery, of course, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, the men were always taught to definitely like not show emotion at all, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like now, like from slavery stopping and like putting like, you know, black individuals in communities where they had to survive, I feel like that wasn't talked about. It was always about like taking care of the wife, taking care of the kids, go to the job, making sure you know you have a good job. As we've seen, like men didn't have time to be like, oh, you know, this is what's bothering me. Like they had to like worry about getting a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Supporting their family. So it's just like, I guess the wives had more emotional support of like, hey, you know, like they talk to their husbands like, hey, I'm going through this and everything. But the husband don't even know how to communicate back to his wife because he's so stone cold, because that's how we talk. Like, I don't think it's ever been like the system after from slavery that it was like support for us to even have for me in the talk.
PTSD. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
PTSD.
from my grandfathers, our great grandfathers and everything, it was always the great grandfather or the pops telling you like, man, you know, you gotta make sure you have this job, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. It was never about like, hey, like if you're going through this, make sure you voice it, make sure you do this. Like, so it's like when he said he was being snappy at his wife, like a lot of people don't know how to like deal with, you know, depression. You know what I'm saying? So like far as men, they don't even know, like they always taught to be strong. So when they dealing with depression, like there's so many feelings being like all up and through your head. You just like, I don't know how to talk to nobody. Like I don't,
you know
like,
what it is.
You don't know what it is. So you don't even know how to come to your own wife or your own like family or mom or dad to be like, hey, this was going on, because it's just not you're just not used to it. So I feel like there's kind of like the stigma that we have, like men are just taught to be strong, and I feel like it's kind of crazy because I feel like we're all human. If women can get to cry, men can get to cry too. Like it's no gender whole specific about having feelings. Like, so I don't know.
That's dumb when you think about
certain men actually have that theory, like they supposed to be strong, and like that's why certain men are like chicking out and like killing girls and doing this, or getting mad when someone's like, you know, like looking at you or something. Like some men just like go crazy, like.
So I just made a post or two posts this week. One was about like, yesterday. So with my brace, I've been braceless for 3 months, right? But last night I had this urge to humble myself, to remind myself where I come from. So I put the brace back on to see how it felt, right? Because I don't want to forget the moments when I was like being still, you know what I'm saying? So like stay grounded, stay grounded. And it didn't fit me anymore, right? It was built for my leg to be swollen and unstable. So when I put it on, it's uncomfortable. It's digging into my legs. It's like cold. Like I feel all different types of metal. The straps don't strap right. And what I realized was what fit me then, what I needed then to be stable, doesn't fit me now. Right. Goes back into your slavery thing. It's like we needed to be above and beyond strong to survive. For sure. Right? We needed to survive the Klan, the civil rights. Like we needed to survive lynchings. And that there was no place during that time to have emotion, right? But now we don't need that. Like we don't need those survival mechanisms, and we're still carrying that. But that stuff doesn't fit us anymore, and we don't fit that anymore. And we need to evolve and change and understand what fits us now, right? And when I took it off, I was like, man, I appreciate it. I'm not disowning the brace. I don't want to just throw it away like I never needed it. I needed it. But now I've strengthened myself. I've gone through therapy. I've healed. I've prayed, and now I can walk freely without it. And when we get to that point, like we don't need to hold certain things, hold on to stuff like that. Then we can walk freely in who we were supposed to be in the first place.
That's a good analogy.
Just made it like literally yesterday.
You can definitely have a sermon for this, like for sure. I'm different. You know how pastors be having the sermons and everything, but it definitely ties into everything that you just said about like men and like, you know, like as far as like depression, like that was just a good analogy, like to sum up everything for someone to get though. You know what I'm saying? So for sure.
I hope so, because it's real life. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's you have an estranged childhood, growing up a certain way, like, you know, I know a little bit about your story, and I have a similar story, you know what I'm saying? It's like we have to become what I call, what they call in the Bible, a goel. It's like a kinsman redeemer. I was just talking to you about that. It's that person in your family that takes on the responsibility of moving your family to the next level. It's like you take on certain burdens and you step in the gap to help break the plagues that's attacking your family. So you're a goel, you're a kinsman redeemer. look up
I'm
Story of
gonna
Boaz and Ruth.
I'm gonna
Look up Ruth chapter
We'll
2.
put it in the description.
Put it in the description.
Right.
The book of Ruth. It's powerful, man. Because when you look at
I need to read that.
when you look at Boaz, like the dude had wealth, but he had status, he had integrity, he had courage. So when his family needed him, he was there because he had the tools necessary. And when we struggle with depression, we don't seek help, and we try to depend on ourselves. We don't get the tools needed to be that kinsman redeemer for our family and our future generations. So we got to stop that. Like we have to break it, and it first starts with.
And it's so crazy because I feel like if I did like seek like therapy and everything, I feel like I would be okay with being a place in for my family. But I feel like I just take so much burdens on. I feel like okay, like this is going on, this is going on, this is going on, but I don't like take time for myself to heal about what I've been through my childhood. So I feel like I'm just taking too much on, and that's the reason. So I definitely need to like look up that and like figure things out. For sure.
Think about the cup. It's like if you keep pouring into a cup and you never
It's gonna run it over.
Yeah, it's gonna run over. Like you never like
Run
get
it
scarred.
over.
Run. You're gonna be running. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you have to pour it out. And I was saying like manhood to me now, almost 30, married, no kids. It's like it's a balance of strength and vulnerability.
For sure.
Right? Like there's a healthy balance, and it depends on what person. You know how much is what. My little brother had to be in some certain moments stronger than me because he had different experiences growing up. So it's like when we find that balance, men, like it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to not be strong. It's okay to feel defeated and weak. Like that stuff is okay. It's okay to cry. And I'm giving you permission, my brother, to actually sit in that because you're not alone. Right? It doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you more of a man, to be honest, if you aware of yourself.
Your feelings.
Yeah.
Man.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Like mastery of self is amazing. Like when you know yourself, like when you can master your emotions and control yourself.
For sure,
That's when you become a man. Like everybody doing stuff off impulse, like kids
for sure,
killing
like,
folks and letting your emotions run rampant. You have no control over yourself, so you're not a man. We just had a shooting, man, in town, and I'm
I was just talking about that today, man.
Just had a shooting.
I was just
At the
talking about that.
Kroger,
At the
right?
Kroger.
Kroger.
Over something petty.
Him getting fired and just like
over something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like they have no control over themselves, so they less of a man, in my opinion. A true man has that delicate balance of strength and vulnerability and control over their own self.
Like for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And that needs to be taught in our community.
So
I could have blown
how can we
off.
begin today, or how can we begin to teach other men to be vulnerable? We teach other men to really love themselves.
And acceptance. Like when you accept that you are not Superman, like that was for me. It's like, bro, you can't do everything.
For sure.
You don't have the answers. Like you have a wife and you don't have a job and y'all sleeping on your mother-in-law's floor and you just got married. You feel like trash, but it's okay. Like other men have been through this. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
This is
Like,
just
for
a
real.
season.
Trust me.
It's just a
Trust me,
season.
you're not the only person, man.
Man, and then when my wife looked at me and was like, bruh, I will sleep in a cardboard box with you as long as it's a nice box. She said it to me when we were sleeping on my mother-in-law's floor. She said, "I was sleeping." And
guess what? You don't meet that many people, man.
Come on,
Life is so weird, man. Like a girl, you gotta have a big house, you gotta have a nice car. Like that's the type of women that's like Savannah, like LeBron James.
The society now, as far as for women, a lot of women now. I'm not included in the category, but I do want certain things in my man. But women now feel like a man has to have everything. The car, the house,
and guess what? He's gonna cheat.
Kids,
he don't use
the credit score, everything.
And some of them men ain't even good because they already got it all, so they already cocky. You know what I'm saying? So they already like, man, like you don't want me. Go on to the next cheat. You know, I've seen it so many times, and it's so crazy because I gotta always refer back, but it's like it's in like the songs that we listen to. Like girls really listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, like I'm like I ain't gonna lie, I like. But it's so crazy. I like City Girls and I like Cardi B and everything, but they just promote like a man should already have some. And it's so crazy. The man that they was with was cheating on them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like for a woman to say that, like, you don't get many women like that, because those are women that you love. Like LeBron James, for example, still with Savannah when he didn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't go get like a girl in the industry, like when he already making millions, and like go get a baby, divorce.
Make their booty look nice, make their booty look nice just for a man.
Yeah, so like her saying that is just like you definitely need to keep those people around, because that's a wife and that's a woman that you definitely need to have for the rest of your life. Because
man, we about to celebrate 6 years next month.
Yeah, 6 years. 6 years is a long time.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Like,
6 years is a long time though.
Some communication was dropped. You should have been there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, think about it, man. It's like, if we want to get to that being our story, we gotta change what we've gone through, right? Like Bree, she don't know all the junk I went through in college. You know, she saw a lot in high school, but it got worse in college. You know what I'm saying? And I went through depression there and over women, right? But it's like when you secure in who you are, man, you understand how your emotional and mental state shouldn't be tied horizontally to a person. It should be tied here vertically through your faith.
I'm learning that.
It's an anchor
this year.
It's an anchor, bro, because like people die, people get sick, people change, people leave, people cheat. But it's like that stuff is rock, it's shady, you know what I'm saying? But he's always constant. So my advice is legit, like, be anchored in your faith, because that, when all else fails, it's gonna keep you grounded.
And you know what's so great, like, to piggyback off there, like, I literally just learned that this year, because I think, Bree, you always know how I've always get attached to people I've talked to, and I feel like I let them become more focused on my entire life. Like, I don't care about this, I care about that, this and this and that, and that's what it comes from, me being a strong person always in my family. And I isolate myself in relationships where, like, Brianna, I was looking like vouch, like I was around my sister for so long, but then every time I get in a relationship, it's like, bye. You know, every day we don't talk. I'm talking about, like, I go very ghost, like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's so crazy because, like, I put myself in that person. I put this person on a pedestal, like God, which is wrong, because I feel like no, like, and then, like, this person cannot even be like your person you gonna be with a long time. You know what I'm saying? So you done lost friends, you done lost family from this whole person, like, that's in your life. So, like, now I came to a realization when I had been single for a long time, and I'm glad I didn't do it now, is the fact that, like, I had to get my faith with God, right? I'm like, no, God, you're the only person I need to be like, okay, God, like, I'm picking you over everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, now when I'm, like, with someone, I'm like, okay, yeah, we got boundaries, like, you know, we together, this and that, but, you know, like, let me go with my friends, let me go do this, let me go do that. Like, I'm never gonna put myself and too much faith in one person, you know what I'm saying? Because it definitely can throw your whole life off, for sure.
You start living for them.
And it's unhealthy as well, too. It's unhealthy. No, I live for them. Never again, though. Life experience taught me that, for sure, though. I mean, but you got to go through it. You got to go through it for you to be taught. Yeah, for sure.
I tell people I don't speak from theory. Like,
I speak from experience.
That's the best teacher, you know what I'm saying? Because I listen to you and I know that's real. It's like, I've been there. Like, I've done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had all my attention and faith into this person, and it burned me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to pick up the pieces and ask for forgiveness
for yourself.
Right. So it's like, nah. And even now, like I said, married 6 years. If my wife dies today, right, I need something outside of her to keep me who I am, keep me anchored.
No, for sure.
And that in and of itself pulled me out of depression. So anytime trauma, tragedy, like anything that happens, I'm not like just, God got you, right? No, you gotta go through hell sometimes. But the beauty is God is with you as the entire time. You know what I'm saying? The entire time. It's not like you're not gonna experience it. But like as you go and grow, He's right next to you. Like He never left.
That's the person that's never gonna leave you. That's the person you know that's definitely never gonna leave you. And that's the beauty of it all. Like, I understand He be there, He answer your prayers and everything, but it's like having a person, like, even though you cannot physically see Him, it's that you know and you believe. That's the best gift that I feel like no money, like clothes, anything could be like that. Because, like, man, when I tell you, you can't die and bring these clothes with you, you know what I'm saying? Or like any of this stuff with you. But to understand that you have somebody like beside you that's like that's never gonna leave you, never gonna like turn on you. This is the best feeling.
You gotta really understand that you may be praying for years and years. You have to keep that faith.
Yeah, because God gonna be like, you know what?
Once
like
you feel like you lose that,
God
faith,
said,
like,
not this year.
God ain't with me. God ain't doing this. You have to remember to keep your faith at all times.
And it's so crazy, like me getting my apartment, like it took a long time, and I took it, like I got it at 24. But I think God was just like, no, like I feel like at that moment I got my apartment, I'm like, no, I needed to be in this exact moment, at this exact time, in this exact place,
it's his time,
right
it's
now.
not our time.
And that's what I had to understand. I'm like, okay, God, like if I got an apartment back then, I'm like, I
Mess
would
it
have
up.
been lost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
let me tell you about God's timing. So sometimes if we pray for something and He gives it to us prematurely, we mess it up for us and for other people. And I think, man, during this need process, I was like, God, why did I get hurt? I was like 10 weeks from Spain,
right,
like living it up. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what's going on?
But when I realized, it's like how many people was watching me go through hell, keep my faith, and share love to the world. Like in the midst of me going through all this pain, like,
Transformation was beautiful.
you know what I'm saying? It's like how many people am I helping? They're gonna like, he did it. If he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, for sure.
They would have missed that. Like somebody could have taken their own life, but they saw something I did.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so
no,
when I thought
facts.
about that, it was like, God, your timing is perfect. So I'm praying that He give me my ability back or make it stronger so I can still go. But at the same time, it's like whoever I was able to help, Lord, I appreciate this, and I can see that on the other end. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy.
No, it don't sound crazy. But you know what's so crazy? I feel like
Somebody needed to hear
God,
this at that time.
Right.
yes, and I also think that God uses us as vessels. You know what I'm saying? So He literally everything happens on purpose with God. So basically, like He like, okay, like you want to go do something in Spain, got you. But I think I need you here right now to help a couple people that's in Memphis.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So like that's why I say like me having my apartment or like me going through what I've actually helped people too as well. By me going through depression of this year and everything, I've helped people. Me going through what I've been going through, but it's so crazy that like I think at that time and me being in that place, I've helped so many people that could have crashed out. So I feel like God uses people as vessels, and we just have to take the opportunity to be that vessel. Some people say no, but I can't say no because I be scared to say no because I'm like, God ain't gonna bless me. So I'm like, I mean, I can't really do that. So it's just like I feel like what you said. I feel like like God just used people as vessels and like just to help the next person, because everybody ain't as strong as like how I think God know. God gives His toughest battles to His strongest soldiers, and I feel like the soldiers like me and you, I feel like that He gives it to us because He know like, oh, He gonna handle it. I know it.
And then think about this. It's like back to the timing piece. It's like, all right, yeah, I want to go to Spain, but in 7 months, Jeff, you're gonna get a text from your friend for almost a decade. She's gonna need you. She needs you because whoever is on the other side of that camera is gonna need you through her. So I can't send you to Spain right now because I need you to speak in that moment on that day.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
Like
No,
that's
I
how
believe
God works, brother. And when I realized that, I stopped being mad about either missed opportunity or trauma. It's like, all right, I know you got something ready for me. I don't know what it is.
It's time to be ready.
But it's coming, and then it always happen like randomly. You know what I'm saying? Random text from Brim like, she need me. I'll be there.
And guess what? You wouldn't have been here if you was in Spain right now.
Man.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
Come
what
on.
he
You know what
No,
I'm
it's
saying?
facts. No, it's
I wanna be
facts. It's
here.
all about life timing, man. Like for sure.
Alignment.
Alignment, that's it.
That's
And
facts.
That's part of the process. And when we get comfortable, as men especially, when we understand that pain is a part of the process, like I have to endure hellish therapy in order to walk.
Yeah.
I have to. Like if I skip it, I'm gonna always be stuck and in pain. But if I go through it, I know it's for the benefit of myself and other people, because it has to be done. So when men look at it like that, like yeah, Satan, I know you finna bring some crap in my way, but God already spoke this into my life. So no matter what you throw in front of me, I already know the end game plan. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't stop me here because God showed me this. And I just gotta get through this part and then move to the next level, and then I'm good. People around me good. Like my family is gonna be blessed because I didn't give up. And and if there's anybody out there, man, that ever had the thought of like, you know what, let me go and tap out. Let me go and check out of this thing. Like understand that you coming out of your mess, right? It's not your fault, first of all, but you're gonna do great things for people that need to see your story. Like a testimony can save lives.
For sure.
And that's why we speak love, truth, and life over anybody, regardless of what you believe, what you've done with your life, like who you hate. Like, that doesn't matter. Like love, man, transcends all sin. It's something about when you have your heart, mind, and soul in alignment with the creator of the universe. Like you can go through stuff intentionally just for the benefit of other people. And that's exactly what Christ did for us.
No,
So,
for
you
sure.
know, shameless gospel plug.
So I got a good question.
Question. What I got?
Okay, so my question is, I think this is a good one. So basically, do you feel like you would be in this space right now, and with everything that you went through, if you had went to Spain and become a pro, you know, and everything, do you feel like you would have become this person? And I know like you're very grateful that you're this person right now, but do you think you would have been this person? Because I know that I've been in situations where I feel like if I would have taken opportunities or done this, I probably would have never been the person that I am today. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Absolutely. So, man, I've been through that many times, right? Like, I had a chance to play for the University of Memphis when I graduated high school. Did you know that? Yeah. I literally turned down my home school like a dumb, right?
Yeah.
And if I would have taken that, I don't know where I would be today. Like, I don't know if I would have a solid relationship with God, because my fight at the other school literally developed this yearning for God.
Got you.
So I think if I had success early, somebody's calling. I think if I had success early, I wouldn't be here today. But as far as Spain, I think there was something missing. And that something, shameless plug, was this book that I produced called Chasing Pro. I had this book in my heart for years, like years, to encourage people, but I never put it out, and I know why. It's because it was missing this huge component about my knee. You see what I'm saying? So it was incomplete until the knee, and I was like, I literally wrote the book in 7 days.
Yeah.
I wrote it in 7 days and was like, thank you. Like, it's done. So to your point, absolutely. Like,
Sure.
I needed to go through this for the benefit of not just myself, but now God give me that Spain trip opportunity. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna glorify Him. I'm gonna help people. I'm gonna serve. It's gonna be.
You're gonna be a whole different person when you be pro. Like, bro, you just gonna be like
to see me go from non-walking to playing professional basketball in another country. That testimony is gonna be powerful.
No, for sure.
Because it wasn't me. Like, it was God. Like, it took away that pride aspect of, like, yeah, you know, I graduated, blah, blah,
I
blah,
went to
blah.
pro.
You know what I'm saying? I did this, but
yeah.
it's like, nah.
And you would never finish your book.
I never finished the book. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's how life is. Life just.
So we want to say thank you so much, Jeffrey, again. We really appreciate you. What you got?
Thank you. So listen, like, I put my story about this knee in here, but it's more than just my story, like a memoir. It's literally a blueprint to help you climb out of whatever mess you're in and help you chase your most authentic dream. I say pro as in professional, pro whatever you want to do in your life, whether it's chasing a career, a relationship, a way of life, like whatever you want to do. Like, if you understand some of the principles in this book, it's going to help you get there despite your most horrible trauma. Okay, so chasingpro.com, pick up the book, or you can go on Amazon and find Chasing Pro, Thinking Beyond Impossibility, and pick it up. And I promise you, it's a good read. Like, I read it sometimes when I'm feeling discouraged so that it can help build me back up.
Yeah, and we're gonna definitely make sure to put it in the bio or in the link down below, so you can definitely like go check him out. Definitely support Black owned. Yeah.
Absolutely. Instagram, I am just Jeff. I am JUSJEFF on IG. Follow your boy.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all.
So if anyone is dealing with depression or dealing with suicide, we will be posting links right here down below in our video. So please make sure you click in the links for more information, or just follow-up information to help guide you through depression, also suicide. Thank you.